the smartest film critic in the world, Cole Smithey.
Hi, this is Cole Smithey with ColeSmithy.com, and your guide to what to see and what to avoid at the movies this week. Proof positive that Steven Soderbergh can make a shamelessly fluffy action thriller, Haywire's trump card is the estimable abilities of mixed martial arts fighter turned actress Gina Carano.
Negotiations broke down. We just need somebody to go and get the guy.
Though the movie is nothing more than a flashy debut showcase for the charismatic Carano to show she can act and kick butt, that's sufficient for much popcorn to be consumed. Carano plays professional assassin Mallory Kane on the run from a group of power brokers who set her up for a fall that doesn't pan out. Told mainly in globe-trotting flashbacks, the narrative traces Mallory's problematic assignment to rescue a Chinese journalist being held in Barcelona. Fast-moving chase sequences mesh with flying bullets and plenty of hand-to-hand fighting between Mallory and various male attackers who tend to underestimate Mallory's killer instinct.
Is the divorce final? Paul, you there?
Soderbergh's camera drinks up stylish scenery and glossy action set pieces. The visual flair makes you want the movie to kick into a missing gear of Tarantino-inflected dialogue. Sadly, screenwriter Lim Dobbs simply isn't capable of producing such delights. Still, there's plenty of tongue-in-cheek humor inherent in the bone-breaking fights that transpire. A roll call of witty supporting turns from the likes of Channing Tatum, Michael Douglas, Antonio Banderas, Ewan McGregor, and Michael Fassbender spice up the flavor of the action.
Like a paid holiday.
Starting when?
Haywire is a chamber-piece action movie in which the athletic violence on display comes with kisses. If you don't expect too much, you'll be more than satisfied. I give this good action suspense movie a B. For better or worse, viewers of Frederick Weissman's undisciplined documentary about the Parisian nude review venue The Crazy Horse will never have to visit the Landmark Club.
I'm standing on horror! Look up! Still! Fight back!
By the end of the film's 134 minutes, the viewer has soaked up so many pert nipples and plump behinds that the entertainment factor of such exhibition is diminished beyond recognition. Perhaps the most surprising tidbit the film proffers is the dancers' aversion to touching one another on stage because such interaction crosses an imaginary line into something dirty. Good to know. If the documentary comes from any primary point of view, it's that of Philippe Decoufle, the club's director and choreographer assigned to the task of creating a new batch of dance set pieces for the storied revue, which has been around since 1951. The film is made up primarily of performance and rehearsal footage of floor show dances with names like Baby Buns that are undeniably titillating. Footage of staff meetings reveals conflicts between Decoufle and the owners over the idea of shutting down the club temporarily to allow him to properly polish the complex dance sequences, which rely heavily on lighting and careful synchronization on the part of the limber dancers. Decoufle also goes head-to-head with the venue's underappreciated costume designer. At about the halfway mark, the film becomes repetitive to a fault. Extended scenes of dances wherein tricks of lighting and costume emphasize breasts and bottoms for their own sake become abstract reflections on femininity for the editorial power of body part curation. Crazy Horse left me feeling ambivalent about the dancers, the club, and a form of entertainment that attempts to elevate the art of striptease to another level. There's no question that there is a tremendous amount of artistic effort applied to the performances, but the much ballyhooed climax set piece involving the dancers singing out of tune drops the bottom out of the already tenuous enterprise. I give this disappointing documentary a C-.
South Korea's impressive entry for the 2012 foreign language Oscar race offers a different kind of war picture in its foreshadowed setting of the blood-soaked front line between North and South Korea during the 1950-53 war.
예전엔 살려주세요 했는데 뭐 지금은 죽여주세요.
Crafted with profound understanding of the war's complexity, director Jang Hun makes palpable the wide range of emotions of soldiers caught up in a Sisyphean struggle of repeatedly winning and losing occupation of the strategically important Arak Hill. The stench of death permeates the area where a strange aura of insanity pervades. The death of a South Korean commander of the Alligator Company by a regiment pistol points to the possibility he was murdered by one of his own soldiers. Lieutenant of Defense Security Command Kang Yu-pyo is sent to investigate the situation to discover if a mole is operating within the ranks of the beleaguered unit. Kang is surprised to discover that his former college buddy, whom he believed killed in action, has taken over command of Alligator Company. Other surprises follow. Kang finds that soldiers from both sides of the conflict have been exchanging gifts and notes in a rough-hewn mailbox hidden in the floor of a bunker in the hill. Precisely articulated flashbacks fill the blanks of Kang's investigation, even as the ongoing war ebbs and flows with unrelenting pitched battles. The front line emphasizes the theme that war itself is the enemy of all peoples. Being a soldier means committing suicide in an abstract and prolonged way for which there is no reasonable rationale.
The film fills an essential missing chapter in a frequently overlooked war. I give this memorable war picture a B+.
My sleeper pick is Ralph Fiennes' Shakespeare adaptation of Coriolanus. My guilty pleasure pick is Steven Soderbergh's Haywire. My must-have DVDs are Raul Ruiz's Mysteries of Lisbon from Music Box Films, 50/50 from Summit Entertainment, and Revenge of the Electric Car from Docurama.
If no is the most powerful word in the English language, then if runs a close second for its power to provoke action. Crusaders was the original title screenwriters David Sherwin and John Howlett gave their widely rejected script before director Lindsay Anderson took it over to stamp the film with his own experiences as a schoolboy growing up in the English boarding school system. Jean Vigo's autobiographical 1933 film of youthful rebellion, Zero for Conduct, provided inspiration for the tone of the groundbreaking narrative that swings into gradually wider surrealistic realms. Anderson's arbitrary switch between color and black and white sequences keeps the viewer questioning the cinematic form as the episodic narrative accelerates haltingly toward a shocking climax of violent youthful revolt. Malcolm McDowell makes an auspicious film debut as Mick Travis, a nonconformist schoolboy condescendingly referred to as Guy Fawkes by one of the school's bullying whips who lord over their junior students aged 11 to 18. Dressed in black hat and overcoat with a scarf masking his convention-defying but temporary mustache, McDowell's confrontational character makes an immediate impression. His portrayal in If caused Stanley Kubrick to cast McDowell as Alex, the futuristic anti-hero in A Clockwork Orange 2 years later. Mick settles into school life in the company of his two best friends with whom he carries on political discussions. During one such conversation, Mick categorically states there's no such thing as a wrong war. Violence and revolution are the only pure acts. Mick decorates the walls of his room with a collage of topical magazine images that inform the audience as to his restless inner monologue. Mick wants to live a life of unbridled freedom, but doesn't know where or when it will begin. His caustic attitude is a problem that head whip Roundtree, played by Robert Swan, mistakenly attempts to cure with a 10-stroke caning session that only serves to put Mick in an even more radical state of mind.
In a nutshell, If is a bold commentary on the adverse effects of abusive regimented indoctrination techniques used by British boarding schools and military outfits alike. The film is a rebel yell in the face of such intimidation tactics to express the seething liberation of free thinkers who must surely turn on their captors with a vengeance when opportunity permits.
To their enemies. Used to send the neatly folded skins back to their victims' wives.
That the film's release coincided with the 1968 student revolt in Paris speaks to the era's zeitgeist that Anderson captures with audacious yet economical precision. The film won the Grand International Prize in Cannes in 1969. Thanks for watching, and visit ColeSmithy.com for more.